You ever get that feeling when the whole village seems to be holding its breath? That's Emmerdale next week. Secrets are bubbling under the surface, lies are stacking up, and a few characters are about to face a kind of choices that could change everything. We've got tests, manipulation, hidden missions, health scares, and relationships hanging by a thread. Honestly, it's one of those weeks where you'll find yourself yelling at the tilly because half of them are digging holes they'll never climb out of. And listen, if you love staying ahead on Emmerdale drama, make sure you hit that subscribe button now. You'll never miss an update. Now, we've got 5 spoilers to get through for Monday 22nd to Friday 26th September. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end because spoiler number 4 is the one that could change everything for Liam and Chaz. Spoiler 1. Charity takes a DNA test. Let's start with Charity Dingle because her storyline is the one that's got fans pacing the floor. Charity's carrying a baby, and instead of this being a straightforward, happy chapter, there's a shadow hanging over it. Why? Because there's a chance the child might not be granddaughter Sarah's. It might actually be Ross Barton's after that one-night slip-up. You can almost feel the weight on her shoulders. Every time she looks at Sarah, she's reminded of what's at stake. And Ross, well, he's not exactly someone who blends into the background quietly, is he? When Charity and Ross are seen whispering, Chaz starts to raise her eyebrows. Suspicious doesn't even cover it. So, Charity decides to do the things she's been dreading. She goes for a DNA test. The kind of test that doesn't just decide biology, it could rip families apart. Now, if you've watched this show long enough, you'll know that waiting for results is never straightforward. We're told it could be up to 10 days before the truth comes back, and that means days of paranoia, second-guessing, and secrets barely being kept under wraps. And let's be honest, can you picture Ross keeping his mouth shut for long? Charity's good at bluffing, but she's also someone whose guilt tends to leak out in unexpected ways. This is one of those stories where, whatever the result is, someone is going to get hurt. And I've got to say, if it turns out Ross is the father, then the Dingle family tree is about to get more complicated than ever. Spoiler 2. Ray manipulates April and Dylan. Now, while Charity's got her own crisis, April, Windsor and Dylan Penders are getting pulled deeper into Ray Walter's web. And this one honestly makes my stomach turn because it's so believable. Ray is one of those people who can smile at you and make you feel like he's doing you a favor, when in reality he's tightening the chains. April tries to shake him off. She even talks to Dylan about her worries, but it's like trying to climb out of quicksand. The more she moves, the deeper she sinks. She ends up apologizing to Ray, which is heartbreaking in itself, and then suddenly Dylan's job at the depot is being dangled like bait. Ray keeps showing up, making these little offers, making himself look like a friend. Paddy, bless him, thinks Dylan just wants driving lessons and steps up to help, totally unaware of the darker influence hovering around the lad. But Ray doesn't stop there. He plays April like a fiddle, suggesting ways she can work off debt quicker, and before long, she's roped into a world she should never have to know about. She's handed a burner phone. She gets her first taste of business, and she's terrified because she knows what happens if she makes a mistake. The beaten-up lad she crosses paths with is a clear warning. And poor Dylan, he's caught between wanting to please Paddy, who's starting to feel like the dad he needs, and being trapped in Ray's grip. Every time he thinks he's found a bit of independence, Ray slams the door shut again. This could really ruin both their lives. And I don't think it's going to be long before Laurel notices Ray's charm and starts thinking he's not such a bad guy. Which makes you want to shout at the screen, doesn't it? We can see exactly what he's doing, but the village can't.
Right, let's move over to Caleb Miligan because he's acting shadier than ever. Jai Sharma's already frustrated with him. From Jai's point of view, Caleb's treating the depot like some sort of side project, barely giving it the time of day. But we know Caleb well enough by now to sense when he's got something else on the go. And sure enough, he sneaks out of Mill Cottage and thinks nobody's watching, except Ruby. She catches him red-handed, and you can bet she's not just going to shrug it off. The look on his face says it all. He's hiding something big and he doesn't want it exposed. The question is, what is this so-called favor he's off doing? With Caleb, it could be anything. Business dealings, dodgy alliances, maybe even something connected to the family that he doesn't want Ruby involved in. Whatever it is, he's juggling fire. And here's the thing, every time Caleb tries to run 2 lives at once, it ends up blowing up in his face. Remember how he first came into the village with all those secrets and schemes? This feels like déjà vu. Ruby deserves honesty, but instead she's left with half answers and suspicions, which only means one thing. When the truth does come out, it'll be 10 times worse.
Spoiler 4. Liam opens up to Chaz about his health. Now, brace yourself, because this next one hits closer to home than most soap stories. Liam Kavanagh has been trying to ignore symptoms that you just can't ignore forever. Claudette urges him to keep his appointment about his prostate, but he brushes it off. Typical doctor behavior, isn't it? They look after everyone else, but when it comes to themselves, they put it off. But then Munchie catches him in a moment he can't explain away, relieving himself in a sink in his consulting room, clearly in pain, clearly desperate. That's when the penny drops. He can't keep pretending. Finally, he confides in Chaz, and it's devastating. He admits he's terrified he might have prostate cancer. The rawness of that confession, the way Chaz reacts, this isn't just a storyline. It's something a lot of viewers will know from real life. It's sensitive, it's emotional, and it reminds us that Emmerdale isn't just about drama. Sometimes it shines a light on the things people don't want to talk about. Bottom line, Liam's future feels uncertain. We don't know yet if he'll get a diagnosis, but what we do know is that hiding it will only make things worse. And seeing Chaz by his side is a reminder that sometimes the toughest step is just saying the words out loud. And finally, let's talk about Gabby Thomas and Vinnie Dingle. On the surface, they look like a young couple with their whole life ahead, but underneath, they're both sitting on secrets that could wreck them completely. Gabby admits to Laurel that she cheated before the wedding. Laurel's reaction says it all: exasperation, disappointment, and a warning that Gabby can't bury this forever. But Gabby insists she will. She's determined to keep her lips sealed no matter the cost. Meanwhile, Vinny has his own bombshell. He gets a letter that drags him back into a world he'd rather forget. If he testifies against Mike, he can help stop the bloke hurting anyone else, but doing so risks exposing lies he's been sitting on, lies Gabby knows nothing about. And it couldn't come at a worse time, because Gabby's buzzing with excitement over Vinny being able to adopt Thomas officially. On the outside, it looks like their little family is about to take a huge step forward. Inside, Vinny's eating himself alive with guilt. This is one of those couples where you almost want to shake them and say, just tell each other the truth. But in Soapland, secrets are the petrol that keep the fire burning. And when both halves of a couple are hiding something this big, you know it's not going to end quietly. And breathe. That's a lot, isn't it? Charity waiting on DNA results, April trapped in Ray scheme, Caleb sneaking about, Liam fearing cancer, and Gabby and Vinny hiding secrets. Honestly, the village feels like it's on the edge of an explosion. Quick pause though. If you're still watching and enjoying this chat, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss the next round of spoilers when they drop. And if you're already subscribed, you're officially part of the gang who always knows what's coming up before anyone else. Now, back to the drama. So what does all this mean for next week in Emmerdale? Well, here's what matters. Charity's decision could fracture her family forever. April and Dylan are dancing with danger, and Ray's not someone who lets go. Caleb's sneaky mission is only going to pile tension onto his marriage. Liam
facing something that no amount of bravado can hide. And Gabby and Vinny, they're walking on a tightrope that can't hold both their secrets for long. This could really shake things up across the board, and it leaves us with more questions than answers. Who will be standing by the end of the week? Whose lies will finally spill out, and how many hearts are going to break in the process? That's what's coming Monday 22nd to Friday 26th September in the Dales. But now I want to hear from you. Whose storyline are you most worried about? Do you think the DNA test will confirm Ross as the father, or will Sarah's hopes be saved? Should April and Dylan come clean before it's too late? And will Gabby and Vinny's secrets destroy them before they even get a chance at happiness? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I always love reading what you lot think. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep watching, keep guessing, and let's see what Emmerdale throws at us.